Imagine driving down a highway at top speed, but your windshield is entirely blacked out. The only way you can attempt to steer is by staring directly into the rearview mirror. This is exactly how managers operate when they run a business based exclusively on traditional financial metrics, like gross revenue or quarterly profit. These metrics are lagging indicators. They only report the results of actions that have already happened. To actually steer the firm, management needs leading indicators, metrics that act as reliable predictors of ultimate financial performance before the quarter ends. The formal architecture designed to integrate both of these data streams is called the balanced scorecard. Corporate survival requires anticipating future financial outcomes by measuring the firm's present non-financial realities. At its core, the balanced scorecard is a tool for goal congruence. It aligns the localized decisions of individual managers with the overarching competitive advantage of the entire firm. Without this framework, a manager might drastically cut spending on customer service to artificially boost short-term operating margins and hit a localized financial target. That localized financial win inevitably triggers a long-term decline in customer satisfaction, quietly eroding the firm from the inside out. The balanced scorecard is engineered specifically to prevent this exact type of operational myopia. By tracking multiple measures of performance simultaneously, it exposes when a manager achieves one objective at the direct expense of another. The scorecard acts as a structural defense mechanism, forcing visibility across competing objectives to ensure short-term gains do not sabotage long-term viability. Before constructing the scorecard, a firm must identify its key performance indicators, or KPIs, the specific, measurable elements of performance vital to its competitive advantage. These indicators are derived first from a SWOT analysis, which isolates the firm's core internal strengths, like its existing technological capabilities, and its specific operational weaknesses. A pest analysis is then layered on top to identify external threats and opportunities, filtering for political, economic, social, and technological externalities. These combined environmental inputs dictate the firm's exact competitive strategy, forcing leadership to choose between broad cost leadership or narrow specialized product differentiation. Because every firm operates under a unique strategy, the specific measures on a balanced scorecard must vary. There is no universal template. The structural model of the scorecard classifies objectives into 4 interconnected perspectives, starting at the base with the learning and growth perspective. This first layer is the bedrock of the firm's future capabilities. It measures how well the organization develops its human resources and fosters technological innovation. This chart displays the metrics for the learning and growth perspective. Each objective is tracked using dual data points, a lagging financial measure, like R&D costs, and a leading non-financial measure, like the number of new patents applied for. Moving one level up brings us to the internal business processes perspective. The human and technological capabilities cultivated in the first layer directly dictate the operational efficiency measured in this second tier. Looking at the internal business processes table, we see process efficiency quantified. Under the quality KPI, the firm balances the financial penalty of scrap costs against the operational reality of the rate of scrap and rework. These foundational layers prove that an organization's investment in human and technological capital directly funds its ongoing operational readiness. The structure then moves to the third tier, the customer satisfaction perspective. This layer measures the direct external result of the internal process efficiencies achieved below it. This table outlines the customer satisfaction metrics. Achieving prompt delivery requires tracking both the trend in delivery expenses and the actual on-time delivery rate experienced by the end user. The structure is capped by the fourth and final tier, the financial performance perspective. This top layer consists purely of the lagging indicators established earlier, metrics like gross revenues and overall profitability. Every financial result resting in this top tier is simply an echo of the actions taken and measured within the bottom 3 non-financial tiers. This diagram is a strategy map. It provides a visual representation of the cause and effect relationships mapping across all 4 perspectives of the scorecard. We can trace a specific operational action starting at the learning and growth level, such as the decision to increase employee training. That initial investment mechanically triggers an upgrade in the internal business processes layer, directly working to increase sales cycle efficiencies. The efficiency gained then breaks upward into the customer satisfaction layer, serving to decrease customer wait times. This naturally produces a parallel benefit, working to improve customer ratings within that same perspective. Finally, the chain lands on the lagging financial result that justified the entire sequence, culminating in an objective to increase revenues. This interconnected chain makes it impossible for managers to hide destructive trade-offs. If a step fails, the map exposes exactly where the causal link broke. The scorecard locks operational action to ultimate financial return, ensuring that internal improvements yield verifiable value. This example-balanced scorecard maps objectives to outcomes, functioning as a daily management tool. Under learning and growth, a 50% target for employment length reached only 10%. This specific failure triggers a pre-planned corrective response to reevaluate the compensation plan. Maintaining this intricate web of interconnected data requires a vast amount of information. Firms universally rely on an enterprise resource planning, or ERP system, to integrate all departmental applications into a single database. Through this architecture, strategy ceases to be a high-level theory. It operates as a living, actionable feedback loop at the granular level. Implementation carries operational risks. The system can collapse under its own weight if managers track too many measures, diluting focus from true key performance indicators. The system will also fail if senior leadership refuses to tie employee evaluation and compensation to the non-financial measures. Subjective measures, like customer surveys, are inherently imprecise and must be treated strictly as estimates, not hard science. Achieving localized metric improvements should never become an end unto itself. An effective balanced scorecard demands constant vigilance, ensuring every internal action taken is strictly cost-effective and undeniably linked to the firm's ultimate bottom line.